This is my 85 Mustang, and I needed to build a body dolly for it because I'm doing some rust repairs. As you can see, I got a pretty serious project going. I'm putting a floor pan section, a whole floor pan section in the middle of the car. And I have a few other areas that need some attention. So I needed to send the car out for sandblasting. So I had to come up with a way to get it around so I could trailer it back and forth to the sandblasters. And I came up with this. So all the square and rectangular tubing and the angle iron that you see in this video was all stuff I dug out of people's trash. The angle iron was a bed frame at one point, and the square and rectangular tubing all were exercise equipment. I'm a scrapper, so this is stuff that I got while I was out scrapping. So the only money I have invested in this is for the 6-inch rear fixed casters and the I think they're 5-inch swivel casters in the front from Harbor Freight. If I owned a business and I was going to build one of these for everyday use, I would buy nicer swivel casters for the front because the Harbor Freight swivel casters suck. But for what I'm doing, they work great. For a Michigan car, this car really was rust free. As you can see, the shock towers are great on this car. They look really good. It was just the floor pan that rotted out. It was a factory sunroof car, and I think, you know, it just leaked, and over time with the carpet and the underlayment being wet, it just rotted out the floors. So I marked the tubing and the angle iron to give you an idea of the measurements of all the different pieces. The bed frame stuff is great. The only problem with it is it's extremely hard material. So if you try and drill it out, you're gonna wear out some drill bits. It's great if you just want to chop it up and weld it together for stuff, but to try and drill it out, you're gonna wear out some drill bits. So just keep that in mind. But you can see all the measurements that I have. And this just bolts on where the K-member bolted on. I have a piece of like 1/8 inch reinforcement here. These are like 1/2 inch bolts, I think, or something like that. It's just all a bolt on. I had it all painted really nice, but then when I sandblasted it, they sandblasted all the paint off of it. So on the back, these support pieces here, these rectangular pieces, these are just bolt on. They bolt on the front where the control arms would bolt inside the torque boxes. And then they bolt on right here in the back. I just built some brackets. You can see I painted the car with some of the VHT epoxy paint that you get in the rattle can, and came out really nice. The car really, for a Michigan car, was in good shape. It's just that floor pan area in the middle of the car really that was the worst part. So I just decided to put a whole new center floor pan in. I believe the wall thickness on this stuff is about 80 thousandths, 0.80. And in the rear, it just bolts on in the very back. You can see where the factory like 5-mile-per-hour bumper, the shock absorber things, bolted in. One word of advice, I didn't do it on this car, and it's a tight fit in the back, is if you're gonna do something like this, put a flat washer in there. It's a spacer. This goes on, but it's a tight fit. I totally forgot about doing that flat washer deal. So it's a tight fit, but it goes on. It just takes a little wiggling around. But you can see the underside of the car really is still pretty nice. I mean, for a 1985 car from Michigan, it's saying something. So, like I said, this is just the VHT epoxy paint that you get in the rattle can from the auto parts store. The cost of the sandblasting, Jeff's powder coating in Monroe, Michigan, sandblasted the car for me. They completely sandblasted it inside, the interior, the inside of the firewall, the engine compartment. They didn't sandblast the outside of the quarter panels or the roof. Everything else they did. They charged me $100 an hour to do the work. They got it done really quick because I have an open trailer and it was supposed to rain on the day that I wanted to pick it up. So they got it in and they got it sandblasted real quick for me so I could turn around and get the car picked back up and brought home before it started raining. So thanks to them for an awesome job and being really cool. So they're car guys, so they understood my urgency in getting the car back I didn't want to bring it home on my open trailer in the rain. And I did haul this car. It's probably a 25-mile one-way trip from the sandblasters to my house. So I just hauled it on my open trailer, man, and this thing worked great. Some of the roads were pretty bumpy. The Michigan roads aren't the best, and this thing held up awesome. So like I said, the car is, from the bottom of the pinch weld here down to the ground, is 22 inches tall, which makes a good working height for standing and also sitting. So I'm happy with it. Like I said, wasn't difficult to make, was super cheap since 90% of the materials were free. Just cost me my time, and 50 bucks for a set of wheels. All right, good luck on your project. Thanks for watching my video.